Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Faz Radio, everyone, on multiple sides of the world. We have Old Bull here today, and Mr. Titan here today. Old Bull is you're the founder of Playable Games, and you are located on the other side of the world from us, I believe, in Dubai. Is that correct?
I'm in Dubai, yeah, and I'm one of four founders. My two sons and my wife are founders as well, but there's an ongoing discussion of how we should say that. So I'm technically a co-founder, but
well,
yeah.
Mr. Titan has a lot of questions, I know, today, and so without any ado, I think we're going to get into them.
Cool. You know, I've been you guys have heard me on here the last couple of weeks talking about Playable, and it's horrible. I sound like a terrible shill on here. I can't help but be impressed, though. That's so Faz knows this, and all of our regular listeners know this. When I get excited about something, I just go crazy with it. And I circle back to these projects that I'm excited about. And as I mentioned, I didn't see a lot of news for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it was Twitter doing curating or whatever it was doing. I didn't see much. I circled back, and immediately I get to the Playable website, and I'm like, am I at the right place? Because this is completely different. I start digging, and now I'm seeing tweets and everything else, and I was just blown away with 2023 being the year of Show Me for crypto gaming. We've dubbed it that. We want to see results. We're tired of just the talk. People talk, and then nothing happens. Holy cow, have you shown a lot. And I thought it was like forever ago we had you on here, and it was like 6 months ago. It was around Christmas time. What you've accomplished in that short amount of time just blew me out of the water. So tell us, this 6 months, you made a lot of changes. What are some of the big changes that you made?
Well, we survived the bear market. That was the first one.
Right.
So it's a tough one. And I've got an investment policy. I've got 5 things that you should always look at when you're going to buy a new stock. And one of those is, have they been through the bear market? Because if a company hasn't been through a bear market, you haven't tested what their depths are, and because your money turns off. Like in a bear market, 80% of the people in crypto leave. So you literally go into maintenance mode. So does the company have depth of resources, and can they pay their bills and manage their team? And we've kept 30 people on wages, big wages, right through the bear market. So so it's now we're back in the bull. It's good, and money will turn back on soon when we get.
Is it a bull market right now?
I think so, yeah. October last year was the low, and we've been the way there's arguing about. So the bears always say we're in a bull trap until you're about halfway through a bull market, and then they suddenly switch and say, "Oh, it's on! Here we go! The bull market started." But
we've known it all along.
Well, no, they don't tend to admit that, but the people, they tend to say that they know now, so it doesn't look so bad. And then unfortunately the bears are the ones that basically keep yelling, keep buying at the top, because they need to justify the price going higher, but the sign starts showing at the top that it's rolling over and going to start falling down again. And I think the best lesson I learned in crypto is that crypto follows cycles, same as everything else, and there is a summer and there is a winter, and those seasons have lengths of time, and you've got to fit your theories into those lengths of time. It's a really healthy way to look at the market. So you can't keep calling bear market when, sorry, I'm from Australia, so the years get around. So your summer is July, That's our midwinter.
Right.
So you can't. So you might get a warm day. So I'm from Melbourne, Australia. So in our midwinter, you can get a warm day in winter, but if you're hoping for a whole string of warm days, you're fucked. Like, it's winter. You're going to get more cold days than warm days. So that's just how it is. It's winter. And so once you understand that about crypto, you apply that time, and like bear markets, there's been 4 bear markets. And remember, this is all new. So one of the guys I follow, he does all his analysis on Bitcoin, and then he does it on the S&P 500, because the S&P 500 has 20 years of history and Bitcoin has 4. And so he says, if it works on Bitcoin and the analysis works on S&P 500, we can trust that it's probably going to be accurate. And so when he starts showing you these things backwards and forwards, it makes it really clear. So I believe, October was the bottom. That was our lowest low. And ever since then, so you have higher highs and higher lows. And so it starts staggering up. And this guy's got a great saying, the bull run is built on a wall of fear. So there's all this fear happening. Oh, it's going to crash. It's going to crash. Oh, it's going to crash. It's not over yet. It's terrible. It's going to crash. It's going to crash. And that's what we've been going. Think about what we've been going through for the last 6 months. It's been all this media is just a wall of fear. It's always going to get worse. It's never going to, America's going to ban crypto. Interest rates are going to keep going up. It's on and on and on. And yet, Germany's in recession, and yet the stock market just broke its all-time highs. America's in recession, but the S&P 500 is approaching its all-time highs. Nasdaq's at its all-time highs. This is not recession. This is not the media is saying one thing and the charts are saying the opposite. So, and this is how the game is played. The big boys are buying, accumulating. The poor people are selling in fear. And then when it becomes obvious we're in a bull market, half of it's already over. So the big boys have been buying since October last year, accumulating, and you don't want to accumulate quickly because that pushes the price up. You want to accumulate slowly. And when you're playing a much longer, why are the Japanese so good at stuff? Because they don't think in 6-month periods, they think in 20-year periods. That's part of their culture. They're really good at saying, what will this look like in 20 years? So when they build something, they build it to last and they build it to be sustainable.
So speaking of building things sustainable,
I'm sorry.
This is what I saw when I circled back to Playable. And this is way, way, way nicer than the original site that you guys had. And you guys are... Yeah, you guys are like Web3 enabled is the way we call it here, where you can log in up here with your MetaMask and then go to all the good stuff straight from there. Yeah. Very clear, very concise. It's not walls and walls of text. You've got the games that are just about ready to start popping out right here. You've got your account that's over here. Events that are coming up. Hey, we should see Faz Radio on there. That's an event.
That's true. That's true.
And the Bull NFTs and your node pages, and everything is nice and placed in great places. I see also when I circled back here that you guys got a blockchain up and running.
We have. It was always a goal to have our own blockchain. Would we have done it now if we knew how hard it was to make a blockchain? No. But we did. We wouldn't have done it in the bear market the way we did. It's costly. Our budget blew out by a lot, and time-wise it blew out by triple. So it was time and cost was much more than we expected. And difficulty was much more than we expected. And we cheated. We used Avalanche's subnet, Avalanche has done a very clever thing. They've allowed us to build our blockchain. So we've got an independent blockchain, but it uses AVAX's or Avalanche's backbone of security and tech. So it means, if you think about Bitcoin, the people that have thousands of Bitcoin have formed a little committee, and they donate Bitcoin to their techs.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is how you have to do it when you're decentralized. When you're centralized, you just have your own fund and you draw on it. So, so we're sort of like half and half. So, but yeah, basically it was expensive and hard, and we've done it, and we're really happy now we've done it because it sets us apart. There's only X amount of blockchains out there, and we're one of them. So
now, how you did that? Were you working on that before, or did you just come up with this like at the beginning of the year and go, "Hey, let's stand up a blockchain"?
Well, it's been in our roadmap since the beginning. Like we've always wanted to do it. It's just when, and the bear market. As I said, like if I knew what I knew now, would I do it now? No, I'd wait until we had a lot more money and a lot more time. But at the time, the thoughts were, hey, it's the bear market. Everything's slowed down. We're in building phase. Let's build. Let's really do it. So when the bull market comes back, we're ready. And we've achieved that. So look at the results. Great. We're very happy with the result. Was it worth it at this particular time? There was a lot of stress and a lot of heartache to get it done, but it's been done. Our tech team's done a great job and pulled it off. So,
well, one of the big concerns, and we've bumped into this with several, not only gaming chains, but also just people who are companies who are building blockchains all over the place. And there's a choice. You have Cosmos, you have ETH, you have Avalanche, you have all these different things. We've seen a lot of attack vectors that are associated with these bridges, right, that get between that. Have you guys thought about that and how it would affect your blockchain?
Well, the bridge is the weakest point. So when you connect two things, you make something weaker than what it was. So, that's the weak point to attack. So the bridge is definitely the place that most hackers attack through. So when we built this, we built it with that in mind, that it was obviously going to be a place that was going to be attacked. And so we worked with Ava Labs, who are the Avalanche development team, and we asked them to really assist us in how do we build this bridge so it's as strong as it can be. Like it is a joint piece. So it will be the place that people try and attack. But no, it's worked out really well. We've got security was our number one goal with that, and we've built it to be extra secure. So one of the downsides of that is that in our first couple of weeks of launching, our bridging times took longer than it should have, and we've been adjusting that. So we've been working with Ava Labs to adjust that, and it's getting quicker and quicker, and we're now down to a few seconds most of the time. So it's good. But there were 10-minute waits sometimes originally, and that's because when the transaction goes through, you've got to have blocks go through to confirm it. And you set how many blocks you want to go through before you allow the money or the transaction to go across. So that means that someone can sort of say, "Oh, it wasn't me."
Well, I can tell you, once I discovered all your new goodies over there, of course, I went and bought another bag of Playable tokens to try out the bridge. And it was probably 3 hours maybe to bridge initially from ETH over to just to get it on Avalanche, right? That whole process, I white knuckle through that whole thing because it takes forever. And if you click anywhere else on the screen, your little timer goes away and then you can't get it back. And it drives me nuts. But I managed to get it through, and then I got the bull tokens. I had to go read. You guys have a fantastic FAQ that with the videos and everything else. I'm sitting here like a noob, right? Like I don't know what the hell I'm doing on any of these blockchains, and I'm watching these videos and I'm reading these articles while I'm waiting my 3 hours for the ETH to convert over to AVAX. And I'm like, wow, you guys not only presented it in like you're talking to a fifth grader, but by the time that money got switched and I got the tokens, Bam. I knew what I was doing to go in there. Now, I did tell you a little bit earlier, I did get a hiccup. It took like 2 days, that first transfer I made. Yeah. I didn't panic. I knew it would make it through, but it did take a while. You did some maintenance. You got that worked up. And I bridged there. I fiddled around on the platform. I bridged back. The bridge back was like 3 minutes, like you were talking about, to get back over onto AVAX off of your network. But the simplicity of it all, you connect via the DAP right on the website. Everything goes in. It reminds you to switch to the Playable network. Everything was just, it was just butter smooth. So I appreciate that. That is huge, because the hoops that you have to jump through on some of these platforms, gaming or not, to get onto the platform, to get your tokens, to actually go and accomplish anything there is like ridiculous. Very, very good job on that.
Well, that's not me. That's the tech team. They're an Australian team. They're really good. So Froggy, our CTO, he's young but bright. That one. So he's got a good team behind him, and we had an American guy. I only know him as Ken. That's his name, like his gamer name. But he actually put together the bridge and worked with Ava Labs on that. So yeah, no, it's a really cool thing, and it allows us a lot of safety long term, because being a chain allows you to be in charge of this. Like, you can actually monitor the security and make sure everything's really good. And it allows us safety in the sense that all of our assets are stored on that chain. So, but the good thing is with bridging is that even though it's delayed, you can't ever lose your money. As you said in the green room, like, it's a blockchain. We know exactly where the coins are, where they went. So those first couple of days were hectic because they were taking a couple of hours often to go through, and people were panicking. But we were able to see on the blockchain exactly where their money was, and we were able to reassure them. We can see the transaction, and if it came down to it, we could manually approve it and push it through. So there was no problems at all. It was just tinkering with the security stuff to make it all work. And now we've redeployed that a couple of times and tightened it up. So it's getting faster and faster. Now it's like fairly smooth now. And I watch we've got a ticketing system in our Discord. I watch the tickets every day, and I don't do anything with them. I just watch, and the team does it all. But I watch how many come through, and we're down to a couple a day now, as opposed to there were literally a couple of hundred on day one. So it was on day one, I was shouting at the tech team saying, "What the fuck, guys? This is not what I wanted." But credit to them, where credit's due. They built the whole thing. They have done a great job making it. My background is sales, door-to-door sales. That's where when I was 20, that was 35 years ago. I was trained to go out and sell vacuum cleaners. That's my background, So there's a saying in that industry that you need to be able to do your elevator pitch to a 9-year-old and have the 9-year-old explain back to you what you're talking about. And so
it's a good way to look at it.
That's how messages have to be, because if people don't understand it, they will just say no. So you've got to make it understandable, and you've got to make it so it can be understood and enactioned. So we've done that, and it's good.
Well, and that's why I pointed out the FAQ, but also the simplicity of the site. That a lot of times people try and overdo it, and there's so much information it overwhelms them. And this is just simple and smooth. Most of the people who tune into Faz Radio are gamers by heart. Okay. So let's take a peek here at your games. Obviously, your Nexus is your Nexus, right?
That is our next one. That's coming out. So I played the latest build yesterday, and I'm a proud father. Let me tell you, it's fucking great. It's no, it's a proper game. Like, it's actually a proper game, and it's 5v5 third-person shooter MOBA. So very rare beast. There's only a couple of them in the world, and it's actually if you jump on our YouTube channel, I uploaded a video last night of the new skins, and that's got the latest. So you're looking at old. That's really old footage. That's several months old. That footage you're looking at.
That still looks pretty good.
Well, that just if you can just pull up that YouTube video live.
Okay.
Just go to our YouTube channel. It'll be the last video uploaded. Or you can go to Playable Games Media if you want. It's in there as well. But that's got... So to build a game, if everything looks simpler on the outside looking in, and that's a pretty good life lesson. Building a game is really, really hard. And I had no idea how hard, and I had no idea how many moving pieces it has. And we're just so, and I'm going to use the word blessed. I'm not a religious person, but blessed is the best word because it, so yeah, that last, because Play Nice is overrated, that's the last. So have a look at the world there, bring it up to full screen, and that is what our world looks like now.
Whoops, there we go.
So this is just one of the emotes.
Baby's got back on that player, man. Let me tell you.
But if you look at the quality of the actual game itself behind, like we're up there. We're definitely A level. We're not a triple A. So triple A games take 300 million to build. Double A games cost about 50 million to build, and an A game costs a few million to build. So we're at the A game level. So
Holy cow.
yeah, it's really high quality. And it's not just, so getting good graphics is fairly easy. Getting good graphics that maintain FPS in a game and allow you to actually have functionality is super hard.
Can you guys hear the music on this? Is that broadcasting? Yeah?
Yep. So this is literally just to show off the skins.
So I would assume then the skins are going to include different bullhorns. I would imagine, yes.
What do you mean bullhorns?
Well, I see that a lot of them, because your theme is the bull, and I see that some of the characters have the bullhorns on them.
Yeah, there's two bull characters. There's Bully Boy, which I think's already been up, and there's another bull. So Bully Boy is the one that node owners get. That's a node owner skin. So only node owners get that one. And the Samurai that you saw before, that's VI3s. So our Vibs, very important bulls. And then a lot of these others are going to be for sale. So you'd be able to purchase them. So
Maverick is asking, is there tokenomics associated with the game?
No, this is a tournament game, so there's no pay-to-win element at all. The skins are purely decoration, and these sort of games, it's a Hornet skin.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, it's cool. So when you make a tournament game, you cannot have any pay-to-win whatsoever. So the tokenomics in this game are purely we make money when we sell skins, and there'll be a back yourself mode where you can go in and you buy a ticket to play. So you actually purchase a ticket as an NFT, and that ticket can be 10 cents, $1 or $10. And then the winner of that match get the prize pool. So that's all done on blockchain. So no one can cheat. It's just brilliant. So it's going to be, for gamers that are good, you'll be able to actually make so if you're a really good gamer who tends to win more games than you lose because you're just that good, you'll make money playing Nexus.
Why not play to earn or play to own or pay to win? Why aren't you going that direction?
Well, for this game, it's a tournament game. So so if you do, you can do tournament games that are pay to win. And so with our farming game that's coming into alpha next week or the week after, we're going to release an alpha for that. So that's fully built now. We're just now doing testing. Our farming game is a pay to win game. In other words, you can pay to speed it up and buy faster buildings and all that. Same as Townstar. So when you run a tournament on that, you make there'll be a set of NFTs you have to own to be competitive. So it might cost you $5,000 worth of NFTs to actually go into competitions, or it might be $1,000 or $500 or whatever the numbers are. I don't know what the numbers are. At the moment, we're not building the games to make money. We're building the games to be good games. But there'll be in those pay-to-win games, there'll be a set of NFTs you have to own to be competitive. So if you want to go into win money mode, then that's what you do. So it's a brave new horizon, this one. It's like, no one's got it right yet. So we're all experimenting. Every company out there is playing around with what happens. So our big claim to fame is that the Bull token is used in all our games. So you have no fear of loss there. Whatever we end up using as a working model, whatever Bull token you have is going to be worth something. So
when you said whatever Bull token, you mean there's going to be different types of Bull tokens, or just
no, whatever ends up working in our ecosystem, the Bull token will be the one that is used. So you don't have a fear of picking the wrong one. Whatever works will be the Bull token behind it. You're muted there, Titan.
So you're a
I'm talking on mute over here.
So you're a proponent of single coins rather than multiple coins for a game.
Yeah. I mean, we're avid believers in this. This is like we'll die by this sword. That's if it's wrong, we'll die by it. So, but I said this last time on your station when I was here last time. If let's say we said Nexus was the next big thing and there's a Nexus coin, and you buy Nexus coin, and then for some reason Nexus doesn't go, well then Nexus coin's dead. So
it does keep the damage. It does keep the damage confined to just Nexus. If you have just one coin, the Bull coin, and one game goes under.
But what damage? You just shut the game. So you can cauterize it. You fucking cut it off and burn it. No, seriously, I mean, this is serious. That's triage.
I love the way you present it, though. That's what cracks me up. I'm not laughing at you. It's just you. See, my unleashing reality is what I'm about to, and I love how you just say what you need to say. I think that's awesome.
Well, seriously, games. Who can say? The gaming industry is a really hard industry because it's millions of dollars to play. To make a good game costs millions of dollars, all right? So it's millions of dollars to play, and nobody knows at the beginning when you're building it what it's going to be at the end. And worse than that, no one knows whether what you're building people will want to play. All right? You can guess, you can do the research, you can work it out, but it's like building cars. You know sort of what people want, but are they going to want yours? Is yours going to have the right? And Daniel calls it the magic sauce. So our head of games, he says, doesn't have the magic sauce. And here's an indication to how good our game is. And Daniel said it to me the other day. He said, actually it was Bo, his 2IC. Bo said to me the other day, he said, Jono, here's a canary in the minefield test for you. In the gaming world, one of the lessons we've learned, this is Bo, who's 20-year veteran in the gaming world, he says one of the canaries in the mine we use is, do the devs want to play it on Friday? So Friday afternoon is they load up a game for the devs to play. And he said, we can tell pretty early on when the devs don't turn up to play on Friday, whether the game's good or not. And he says, with Nexus, everyone's there every week. And I said, shit, that sounds pretty good. And he goes, and we were talking about 10,000 players as our first goal. That's our first goal for, do we have 10,000 players playing the game? And he said, Jono, I can see 100,000 playing this game. No problem whatsoever. So he says, the devs just all turn up. He says, I've never seen that before. He says, normally you get if you got 10 devs, 2 or 3 turn up to test and the rest go, I'm busy, I've got family things, he says, but every week on Friday afternoon, all the devs are there. And he said, this game's fun. He says, it's rocking. So I hope it's right.
I just pulled up your NFT page and it's blank. Can you explain why it's blank?
For Nexus, are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah, no, they're not loaded yet. So Nexus is going into an open beta now on 3rd of August. There's a 4-day window you'll have to play, and it'll be open to everyone. So it's what we call a full systems test. So it's the actual game. All of our stuff's on Epic Games. So to play our game, you don't need to buy an NFT. You don't need to load a wallet. You don't need to do anything. You can just go to Epic Games, download the game. It's on Epic Games now. You can't download it now, but it's actually our test set is all on Epic Games.
Mm-hmm.
And our blockchain is connected to Epic Games. So Epic Games is assisting us in this. It's very cool.
You don't need to, as Maverick is saying here, have to have Bull tokens in order to play?
No. You can be a totally agnostic believer in crypto and come play our game. And
I think that's wonderful.
Well, we believe that the game should stand on its own. And if you like the game, so the Nexus is a tournament game. So think League of Legends. It's a game that if you like it, you'll play over and over and over and over and over again to get better at it. And when you start doing that, you want a different skin. You get sick of looking at. We supply 2 skins free of charge.
Nice.
So hopefully, you'll get sick of looking at them, and you'll pay us some money to buy a skin. And when the day comes that you'll and in that video I just linked, the first 2 skins are the free ones. So they're all right. They look all right. They're just a sci-fi soldier, and they're just a basic sci-fi soldier skin. But the different other skins will be different value. Some of them will be $5, some of them will be $10, some will be $20. We're probably going to have a couple of $1,000 ones, and the $1,000 ones, that skin will be a different skin in every game we build. So you'll actually get something for that skin in every game we build. So you'll have to buying one skin, and Young Bull's he's my son. He wants to do skins are only available for 60 days. And then at the end of the 60 days, how many we sold is all there'll ever be. So that's it. So
it'll be like a timed sale. You'll have 60 days to pick up that skin, and then it's retired forever.
Forever.
Are you going to have like a special monument or hall that you can go in to see all the old skins and what they were about and all that? I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, and on our marketplace, they'll be available to be sold because people will sell them on the secondhand market. So, but let's say one of those late skins in that. Let's say, we talked about the Hornet skin there or the Dragon skin. Like, let's say that was $1,000 skin. Then it's naturally collectible because the first barrier of entry is most people won't pay $1,000. No traditional gamer will pay $1,000. Only some sort of NFT nut collector guy will go and do that. But let's say we have 1 million people playing Nexus next year. Wildest fucking fantasy. That'd be magnificent. But let's say that was true. Let's say 1 million people playing Nexus. What would that skin be worth then if there was only 225 of them?
I think that's a big part. And somebody had mentioned tokenomics. So you're doing skinonomics, right?
On this game.
Yeah. And with that, one of the big complaints that's in the NFT gaming side, we hear this all the time on the show, is people will say, "Oh, I just spent, $4,000 on this item, and 6 months later there's something that's better." And to me, that's crappy to do. So I think it's wonderful that you're going to take that approach to it and not have people get their stuff diluted down the road just because Playable decides they want to make some money.
Well, you can make money, but you got to be fair, don't you? I can make a new skin, but is it better than the old skin? That's going to be personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Like there's going to be skins that some people love, and they're going to beg us to make more of them. And there's going to be skins that people don't like, and they wish there weren't that many made, and that's going to be up and down all the time. So, someone said you can't please all the people all the time, and I've lived my life by that.
Are there people able to are people able to trade these skins? I mean, is there like a
absolutely
marketplace like OpenSea?
Yeah, there's a complete marketplace already built on our DApp. So
you guys have?
Yeah, fully built, fully functional on the bull chain. So and all skins will be able to be sold on that, except some skins are just for certain things. So like the samurai skin is for our VI3 community. So you have to be a member of VI3 to buy that skin. So if you don't have the VI3 membership NFT, that skin will be locked to you.
But they could a VIP member could sell it to someone else then, right?
Exactly, another VI3, absolutely. And a no donor
only
skin.
Another VI3 would not.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to sell it to just anyone.
No.
Interesting.
No. So there's only 2 skins at the moment that are locked. No donors. This finger. No donors. Skin.
That's for you, Faz.
It was facing the right way. The VI3 skin is locked and for VI3 owners, and they get them for free. So that's part of being a VI3. They get them for free, and part of being a node owner is you get a skin for every game. They get that skin for free. So, and both those skins are high quality, like they're really top level skins. So they're just rewards to our followers and supporters that every game they're going to get a free skin. And those, like, the cost of making those skins is abysmal. I tell you, it makes my heart hurt. Like, it's like $4,000 to $8,000 to build a skin.
Wow.
Yeah, it really hurts. So, anyway, that's what it costs. So.
Well, and I think that fair pricing policy, having something for everybody, right? Because not everybody can go and drop $1,000 on every NFT that is released for a game. Having that $1, $5, $50, $100, I think that's fantastic as well because it's inclusive, right? And I'm not one of those people that thinks it should be fair across the board, right? But at the same time, if there's people that maybe don't have a lot of money that still want a cool-ass skin, they can get one for just a couple of dollars. And to me, that's huge. That's what this is about, is bringing people in to a fun game that's reasonably priced, that has clear and concise rules from a company that really enjoys putting games out and putting those skins out.
Well, all our games are free to play. You don't have to buy anything from us to play them. So we're backing ourselves that the game will be so fun, you'll want to play it. And as I said, hopefully at one point you'll go, you know what? I think I'm going to buy a skin. Let's go to the marketplace and see what skins are available. There's going to be secondhand skins that people have bought that don't like it and they want to sell. And so let's just make this very clear. There's not going to be very many $1,000 skins. They're going to be rare. So most of our skins are going to be $5, $10, $15, $20. And that's the industry standard. When you buy a League of Legends skin, they're about $20 or $10. So we understand that. We're not trying to rip people off. And with the $1,000 skins, let's say there's 1,000 of them that are minted. All right. 500 of those are going to be given away as in-game prizes.
Wow.
So half of them will be sold, and the other half will be kept. Like the company will mint them, and they'll be at the end of a game. We're going to have like reward boxes at the end of the game. So if you have won 3 games in a day, in a 24-hour period, a box will pop up at the back and it will be unlocked for you. And if there's 3 people in your team that have all achieved that 3 wins in a day, there'll be a rolling system that inside that box might be one of those $1,000 skins. It might be like there'll be some sort of skin in some sort of reward, but the $1,000 skins will be on rotation to go into that box. And you'll hear someone go, oh my God, I won a $1,000 skin. And hopefully my hope is that some person out of Asia who $1,000 will change their life. So it'll be 10 months away.
We're going to change, I think, your name from Old Bull to Big Balls or Bull Balls, because by doing it right like this, that takes guts, man. That takes guts to hang your game out there like that, not build up the hype around it other than, normal, hey, I'm excited about this game, and to let your game do the sales for you. If it's a shit game, you're going to know pretty quickly when nobody wants to play it, right? And that gives you the ability to pull it back, fix it, tweak it, listen to your community on what went wrong, and you have a choice. You can re-release it or put another game up. That takes guts, real guts.
Well,
and we're
we got a saying in Australia. I don't know if it's an Australian saying, but it's put up or shut up is the saying. In other words,
the year of show me, put up or shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just talk's cheap. Everyone can fucking move their lips and say what they want to say, but building something and doing something is really hard. And this goes for everything. Everything in life, there's a choice of doing it easy or hard, and you got to decide what you want to do. And we've decided we want to be the first crypto gaming company that gets it right. That's our goal. We're trying our best to make decisions that are going to give that result. So we've got Daniel Visser running our head of games, and the guy's built 200 games. He knows how to build a game and deliver it to market. And we didn't know that when we started, how hard that was. It's really hard. And it's much, much harder than I thought it was. And every NFT collection that says, we're going to build a game, I just fucking laugh when I hear that. Like, well, what sort of game? Because if you don't know how to build games, let me tell you, it is the most disgustingly hard thing. And then to build a good game, that's even harder. Then to build a game people want to play, that's even harder again. So and like we were talking about cutting it off and quarterizing it. So Nexus, the cost per player per month just to run servers. Okay, so if you've got 10,000 players, our cost per player per month is $4.
Wow.
So that's 40 grand a month just to keep the game alive. All right? So running a game is expensive. This is not a little 2D top-down version game that's really cheap to run on servers. This is a 3D third-person shooter MOBA. So it's expensive to run those servers. So there'll be a budget running in the background that if we don't have uptake, there's only so many years you can run that game before you have to quarterize it and say there's not enough players. So games like Daisy, which is the game I still play, that's been running for 15 years. It's a third-person shooter. That costs money per month to run. And you can't just have a game that's crap. You got to build good games.
Do you guys have nodes? How are your games hosted?
We have nodes, but then our games are not run on our nodes. Our nodes are to run the ecosystem that supports the game, the NFTs. So to build a proper game, to run it on nodes our game Ordnum that's coming, that's a card game. That's a turn-by-turn card game. That could be run on nodes because Avalanche is fast enough to do that. But we'll still run that on Epic servers just to make sure it's totally smooth and totally clean.
So the promise of if we were to go back to Gala, the promise of Gala nodes are in if the company goes away, the games can still theoretically run because the idea is that the games will be running on those nodes. But it would seem that the way that you have things set up, it's very company centric. Then is that right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if we went out of business, then yeah, the games will stop. So now that said, all the technology would be on the blockchain, and if the community wanted to keep playing them, they could work out ways to do that. So like that's all there. But you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want a good game, you can't. Blockchain can't support that right now. It's not possible. So, like, if you want a first-person or third-person shooter, 3D, that needs a good computer and it needs a good server.
Well, the idea behind the nodes are that the node buyers are providing the CPU to run the games, and basically it's like I call it like a mini Amazon AWS or something.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't work that way. Sorry.
Yours doesn't?
No, it doesn't work that way. That's not true.
All nodes or just Galas?
All nodes, like. So let's define what we're talking about. So Nexus is a third-person shooter MOBA. If the ping is over 100, so the time it takes to send a signal from your computer to the server and back, if it's over 100 milliseconds, okay, so there's 1,000 milliseconds in a second. So if it's over 100 milliseconds, you can't compete with another person. You're too slow.
My computer, Faz, think of my little shit box over here and why I can't play a lot of those games.
All right, so a game like Townstar, you can run that on nodes because it doesn't require FPS, it doesn't require frames per second, and it doesn't require talking to a server to communicate. So that's a different type of game. So yes, when we build those games, they'll be on our blockchain, all right, and they'll exist forever and they'll be up there. But the main games we're building, all of our Dogs of War, War of Steel, Nexus, they are proper computer games that you have to play on a proper computer. And what we are doing, I'll tell you what, this is fucking hard. So Nexus can be played on a 760 graphics card. Now you can buy a 760 graphics card for $200.
That's what I have. I can play that?
Yeah, you'll be able to play Nexus on low settings, and you will be able to maintain 30 FPS and 100 ping.
Wow.
And I'm telling you right now, you talk about what I didn't know, that is fucking hard to do.
Well, and that's really good news. So a lot of these bigger games like that, people aren't realizing that a lot of people aren't even going to be able to log in and play those because their computer just isn't strong enough.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Daniel has had a mission of his to make this so we can take it to Asia. So, like, you know, Asia is the onboarding of the crypto market in the next bull run. Asia's coming on and part of Africa. So, you know, they're expecting 2 billion new players coming to gaming. So
wow.
people say to me, "Oh, aren't you worried that you're going to offend the gaming community?" I don't give a fuck. You know, like, oh, what? I'm going to offend some rich Western kids that have had their way for 20 years playing I played Red Alert back in the day. I'm not scared about offending those people. They're not the gaming community we're after. We're after the gaming community who are coming, who want to have a chance to earn some money while they game. So, you know, we want the gaming community that want to play games to actually make it a business and try and make money out of it. We want the guys that want to treat gaming differently. And they're a whole new market. Now, I don't want to offend the people who are traditional gamers, because I'm a traditional gamer. I would like to be respected and treated well. But if I won't be dictated to either on, this is what you have to do or else. We're not playing that game. No.
That's wow.
Sorry,
Maverick is very, very into this. I had this question up a little earlier. So then how does the bull token have utility? What's going to make people want to buy those?
Okay, so every game, every NFT, everything in our ecosystem needs bull token to purchase. So you don't
even the passes for the games.
Well, so to play the game is free. You'll be able to find a free game anywhere. All right, but if you want to make money, if you want to back yourself, then when you buy a ticket to play, so let's say you're a really good player and you play 10.
So that's for tournament entry, if I'm getting that right. Yes.
Yeah, well, there's tournament entry, or there's what we call back yourself gameplay that's coming with Nexus. So you can buy a 10-cent or a $1 or a $10 ticket. That ticket will be bought in bull.
Okay.
So you might buy a pack of 10 tickets. Let's say I'm a really good player and I win 6 out of 10 games every time. If I play 10 games, I win 6. Let's say I'm that good. All right. You can't help. Sometimes you're going to lose because sometimes your team's terrible. But let's say my son's like this. When he plays, he wins 6 or 7 times out of 10. All right. He's really good. So he'll be able to go and buy a pack of 10 tickets, which will give him a pack of 10 NFT tickets. And when he pushes back yourself, he will go into a $10 game. So there's now 2 teams of 5, and there's $100 in the pot, and the winning team gets the whole $100. Okay.
Wow.
So you get
that's a different approach.
Yeah.
If you win, you double your money.
Well, and now if you take the dynamic of this, seeing as how you can't pay to win that either, it's 100% skill based.
Absolutely, totally fair.
You can't just have a group of people who spent $10,000 on better guns to go in and just mop the place up.
No, that's why we're targeting Asia as our first game, like to get our first players, because those guys are serious gamers. They fucking love learning how to win the game. So that's what we're after. So that's what we're doing.
Awesome. So we've gone over your platform, we've gone over the games. What else do people need to know? We're kind of coming up on an hour here very quickly, and I don't want to keep you all morning. What is it that you want people to know that's going to be coming up over the next month or two?
Well, the new chain's fully deflationary. So every time you buy an NFT, 10% of that NFT is burned. So
wow.
we've actually made the bull chain deflationary. So the bigger the community gets, the more NFTs are going to be bought, the more bulls going to be burned. So over time, it'll just end up being fully deflationary. So yeah, that's been the biggest thing we've done this year. It's a really hard decision because there's only 50 billion coins altogether, and we're going to have, in 10 years, we expect to have 30 games as a minimum. So that's our expectation. So 30 games, millions of NFTs being bought weekly. It's going to be a lot of burning going on. But our coin's built with 18 decimal points, so it doesn't matter. It's like Bitcoin. Like, there's 100 million Satoshis in a Bitcoin. So it doesn't matter how many get burned. If there's only, a few thousand left, they still divide up very well. You can have, to play this game is 1 millionth of a Bitcoin, or 1 millionth of a bull. So it'll work.
So I would recommend people who want to become part of the ecosystem visit the site, look at the FAQ. What about you mentioned a little bit earlier about a in a month or so play test on one of them, and Nexus coming. When is all that actually going to be out where people can get their fingers into these games?
Well, Nexus, there's a whitelist out, I think, now. If not now, it'll be in the next couple of days. There's a whitelist if you want to play on the Nexus Open Beta, and that is free to play on the Epic Game Store. So you don't need any wallet or anything connected. You just go to Epic Games and download it, and there'll be a code you get given to play it. That's 3rd of August for 4 days. Then we do our final polish, and on the 3rd of September, and this is hopefully, we believe it will be 3rd of September, but games are complex. Short of anything disastrous happening, it'll be 3rd of September, will be what we call gold release, and that'll be our first stable platform that will be unchanged for a period. And so, again, having people that know what they're doing, Daniel has a thing called bracket creep. You don't want to keep adding things into a game. You've got to draw a line in the sand where you just say this is what the game will be, and that's 1.0. And then you start building 2.0. So, but you leave 1.0 up and functioning as a working game. So everyone can play 1.0, but then we say, okay, now in January 2024, we'll release 2.0. And that will be the first major upgrade, which will have mounts in it. So we're bringing mounts to the game. So you'll be able to use mounts. So someone said the other day that, the run speed at the moment, the sprint speed's really fast. It is because that's our mount speed. Because the map's quite large. If you die,
I did see that when we pulled it up on that video.
Yeah. So the sprint speed has to be fast to get you back into the action. But if you get shot while you're sprinting, you get stunned. So you don't want to be shot while you're sprinting. That's bad. So that's the 3rd of August and the 3rd of September. Starvin' Martian, which is our farming game, that is fully built. It's currently in QA. We have 2 weeks we have a QA company we've hired to actually QA that whole game. You got to try and find the spelling mistakes and when you write, you know how you type something and
right.
You read it and it makes sense, but someone else read it and they say you just spelled where that way. Why did you spell it? So you got to get your there's and there's and your it's and
wait. There's no
stuff.
there.
That's right. Yeah. So that's all got to be QA'd. So it's 2 more weeks, and then we go to alpha on that. So there'll be a whitelist for the alpha on that, and you'll be able to play a full version of that game in alpha. Ordinum is all the artwork is pretty much finished for that, so that's pretty amazing. I'm really impressed with the artwork there, and that should be in alpha end of September, we hope. So
wow, you've got a lot coming out in the 3rd quarter then.
Yeah. So that's really the second year for us. So yeah, it's and then Dogs of War, you won't see anything in Dogs of War until 2024. It's just too complex and too big, and it's we're just
that artwork looks pretty good though.
It's fun. Like that's my baby. That is the game I love playing. So that survival genre, 1st person, 3rd person shooter, you can switch between what you like. And we've got a mechanic built into that. So I don't know if you play a lot of survival games, but if you're in 3rd person, you can peek around a corner. So I'm off screen here, but you can stick your head out and you can see around the corner, but your character's not around the corner. Well, in Dogs of War, if you enter combat, it pulls you into 1st person.
Oh, and then drops back out when you're doing
when you've been out of combat for 30 seconds, you can go back to 3rd person. So if you get shot, you're pulled into 1st person.
Right.
So you do have an advantage while you're the aggressor, so you can actually pull someone in. But once the fight starts, no one has the advantage. You can't peek, you can't. You've actually got to stick your head out to look, and then go back and hide. So it's a really good feature. I've seen it done before, and it's part we've built into the game. So yeah, it's really good. But we're excited. It's going to be a great year this year. As crypto comes back into the bull run, so the first third of the bull run is coming up. We're almost finished, and then we'll get into the part where everyone goes, "We're in a bull run," and then we're going to be in that last third. So after the halving of Bitcoin, so that's the April 2024. That last third to the end of 2024. And the first part of 2025, where the all-time high will come in for Bitcoin, that's going to be just ballistic. We're going to be in altcoin season, we'll be dropping zeros probably every month. So it'll be great. Really good fun.
Awesome. Mr. Faz, you have anything else for Old Bull?
No, you covered a lot here. There's a lot to digest in all this.
Very cool. What final words do you have for the community, Old Bull?
Well, we can start with a thank you for the people that have hung around through the bear market. That's been a fucking tough time. So thank you. We really, it's easy running a company like this because you just scream out commands and things get done. It's been fun for me, but for those who've been holding bull through this time, we've been really proud of our price. It's held up at 0.0. Like we talked 6 months ago, and it was 0.02 6 months ago. And now it's 0.0. Sorry, it's 3 zeros and a 2, and now it's 3 zeros and a 4, and that's been right through. So it's doubled in price through a bear market. So we're so proud of that. Most people have.
I truly think it's because of the approach that you're taking. You're not milking your community like I know Axie went through this recently where they just out of nowhere started milking the community and not delivering on anything. I think the approach that you're taking, I think your brutal honesty with people goes a long way.
Cut it off and cauterize it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, that is what people want to hear. They don't mind a lot of times when stuff goes sideways, right? Because it's going to happen. Everybody's doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
But you don't make excuses. You just tell it how it is, and that is going to build a lot of credibility, and that's going to, I think, take you to a level. Some of the dreams that you have, I'm still a little skeptical, Old Bull. I'm not sure, a million players. That's ambitious. That's really ambitious.
He said 100,000.
Well, let's put that in perspective. I said that was a dream.
Right.
And let's be specific. It's a wet dream. All right. Okay. But no, seriously, our goal for Nexus is 10,000 players. That's our goal. If we get 10,000 players, it'll be a profitable game, and that'll be a great first start for us. So that's 10,000 players. We've been told by our devs that they think this could be a 100,000 person game. So, that would be just our wildest dreams coming true. So that'd be great.
Well, our goal. I think if you keep doing the things that you're doing, you're true, you're honest, you're straightforward, you're plugging away, you're making things happen. I think that's absolutely achievable for you. I just can't commend you enough on that. Yeah. So thank you so much for getting up so early and indulging us. We would love to revisit with you in a couple of months, especially when those games come out, and support what you're doing.
Yeah, so let's have a talk in November or something, because we'll have a lot out then, and you'll be able to actually have played it all yourself. We'll have three games out by November. So
nice. So let's plan on it. I can't wait to have it back. So thank you again for taking time for us tonight, and we will talk at you very soon.
Thanks, Faz. Thanks, Titan. Cheers, everyone.
You bet. Good night, everybody.
got to end it, sir.